Yeah, now I'm a fan. Like a fan.
Where do we start with this? The marketing for the Rings of Power has been a complete and utter mess. The cast interviews, crew interviews, showrunner interviews, panels. It has been a shit show. Let's be real. Let's talk about it. And as you could see at the beginning, two actors from one interview not only making a fool out of themselves, but also one actress basically stating incorrect information and lying through their front teeth. The problem is, she is pretending that she is the main star of this, and that's how it feels. But who is writing this promo for them? She is not the first female dwarf on screen. I find this a completely bizarre marketing pitch. With the declaration that another character is an activist just like the actress, the whole thing of marketing this show that nobody wants is such a bizarre move. So let's talk about this interview.
I find myself in New Zealand playing the first female dwarf and immersing myself in the world of Middle-earth in such an extraordinary way, with so many resources, texts and scholars surrounding me. Suddenly it was like food to the soul. Now a huge fan of the incredible Tolkien.
The marketing of this show has been embarrassing, as you could see from that interview. I've never seen a man look so uncomfortable in my life. And I've never seen someone so obviously reading cue cards before. Oh, not only is the marketing lying, it's misinterpreting facts. The panels have been embarrassing. Watching all of this stuff has been embarrassing. As a Tolkien fan and a Tolkien hobbyist, and watching the sheer bastardization of clueless people, and there are rumours about J.J. Abrams being all over this somewhere, the franchise killer. So, that's worrying. I don't know how true that is, but that's another video for another day. They've created this weird space where they are stating things that are factually incorrect. The media department has already gone after the fans for saying, well, if you don't support this, you are a ist of some kind. And they have factually got everything wrong so far. I really cannot stand this actress. She suffers from main character syndrome, which I find really annoying, and again, factually incorrect. But also, I don't get where these people have come from. Like, you fire the Tolkien expert. The marketing for this thing has been bad. The trailer looks like a CW show. The weird opening credits look like the ending montage of Twilight, and if you've not seen that, it's hilarious, and someone already put the Young and the Restless theme tune over it, and that's just eye-wateringly funny. But also, the marketing department of this series, these people are morons. Like, who is writing the actors' marketing scripts? Who is helming these interviews? Who is involved in the production of this? Just tell me, because I want to make a video out of it to laugh at these people, because it is cringeworthy. They keep lying. They keep destroying the work. And it's very obvious these people, a lot of the Tolkien experts that they kept after firing one of the leading ones in the world, were not only ones that they could get to agree with them, but also ones that would say yes to whatever. If the main qualification of your Tolkien expert is literally, I'm a diversity coordinator, there is a major problem. Watching this debacle is hilarious. It is cringy. It's funny, and it shouldn't be, and I shouldn't be laughing. But this whole thing could have been avoided. They could have been clever and got the rights to material that is actually Tolkien. They could have got the rights so they didn't have to create original characters that don't belong in his work to replace the ones that they can't actually show. There is another rumour that they don't even have the rights to show the One Ring. which I find fascinating. They could have hired a decent costume designer that didn't raid the buckets of BBC Archive for the Merlin costumes, which was I hate that show. And it looked cheap, and this looks cheap. I have seen better looking fan productions at this point. I have seen casual fans that have only seen the films talk about Tolkien and the works in a more passionate and interesting way, and not get stuff factually incorrect. The marketing of this is hilarious, and there is a level of narcissism. There is a level of let's push an agenda and the message and agenda over storyline and plot. The funny thing is, this show is going to be an expensive failure, and that's a problem. That's a major problem, because you cannot create something out of thin air when you barely have the rights to it. And watching actors and the cast and the crew and all of this stuff is embarrassing and cringeworthy. And just, I will say this, look up Tolkien, real Tolkien scholars. If you want information, don't go to the people they've hired. If you want to know about Tolkien, there are thousands of YouTube channels, there are thousands of essays online. There is a wealth of information in Tolkien's work itself, and they've created something from the notes in the back of the book that bears no resemblance to anything Tolkien wrote, barring names and a setting. This show is a mess, and watching these actors and showrunners just mess up their way through interviews and do this babbling moronic speeches that they seem to be churning out like no one will ever learn, it's just ridiculous at this point, and I really do hope this show fails. But the art of bad marketing, if you are marketing a show or a movie on diversity, representation, and or race or whatever, it will alienate people, because it doesn't actually tell you anything about the show. It doesn't tell you anything. They've done this before, and they've been very expensive flops. That god-awful lesbian vampire thing on Netflix, for example. The entire marketing was based on lesbians, not on what's the show about? What are the characters doing? Every cast interview, every panel, and this is exactly the same crap all over again. I wish they would just talk about the show, and they obviously don't want to, and they're trying to damage control, but at this point, this is just embarrassing at this point. It's genuinely bad, and it's getting worse by the day. So, yeah, I thought I'd do this as a bonus video, and I'll talk to you guys later.